All right. Welcome to today's live stream. I want to do a lot of random things today. A little bit of smart aquaculture and updating the some of the Ansible playbooks and documentation for that, and also some AI telemetry developments, and also start working with the InstructLab again. So it should be fun. InstructLab is a large language model, and I want to learn how to retrain it with new data and questions and answers of my own with Python. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, first thing, I need to make some changes to the Smart Aquaculture courses. I'm going to hide the video panel and hide this panel. Now, I need to go to the repository. It's github.com/computate-org/smart aquaculture workbench. This is where the Jupyter notebooks are that learners and developers will use at the Red Hat Summit to generate their own data-driven, custom data-driven website from scratch for smart aquaculture. And one of these notebooks needs some better notes in there. So I go to generate AI template files, and there's a command at the end to generate now the rest of the code. But this only takes one pass through the code, so I need to let it do 3 passes in case something went wrong with their code generation or they ran through it too fast. This will rerun the code generation 3 times and make sure everything looks good. I'm also going to add some additional markdown that says if there are still lots of errors in the code generation, you may have skipped creating one of the important Java files above, like site user.java or site page.java. These two Java files depend on each other and generate errors when one or the other doesn't exist. After they both exist, then the code generation can properly link to each other. So hopefully that's a better explanation. I also want to go to this Jupyter notebook and paste this here. But I'm going to move this up. In the previous notebook, like main vertical.java or worker, vertical draw Java. Say routes.java. Have compil Maven clean. If you still have Maven clean install compilation errors, try this code generation command below or ask your instructor for help. And then over here, okay, I think that's good. Whoops. I'm gonna copy this and also put this into our ASCII docs in the LB2221 Aqua Showroom repository in module 3. See IPYNB. Module 4. Module 5. If there are still lots of errors in the code generation, you may have skipped creating one of the important Java files. All right. See if this looks good. All right, that looks good. I'm gonna commit this stuff. Let's see, let's go. CD into courses. Smart Aquaculture workbench. Git add. Adding helpful notes for the install errors. Git push. And git add, let's see, LB221 status, git diff, module 6. All right. Oops. Git commit. And then last thing is I got to tag things. So currently, this repo, Smart Aquaculture Workbench is at 1.0.7, and we just made a commit. Let me refresh. We just made a commit 1 minute ago, so I'll bump the release to 1.0.8, create a new tag, generate release notes, publish the release, and there's that one. Oh, wait. Yeah, those changes there. Um, Wait a minute. Did that get... Wait, is that saved properly? Status. Git diff. Oh no, I missed some changes and I already tagged it. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, we'll do it. We'll do it again. Mhm. Git commit, git push. All right, and then release 1.0.9. Next, and need to search for 1.0.7. Oops, let's see. I always struggle to find this for some reason. Okay, there it is. So we're going to set this to 1.0.9, which is the Smart Aquaculture Workbench clone. And cd into Smart Aquaculture Red Hat Summit, git diff k, git add dash I. Using Smart Aquaculture. Let's see. Close. All right. Workbench 1.0.9. Git push. Refresh. Here's our latest change now. And create a new release. Draft a new release. Do 1.0.9. Stay consistent. Generate release notes. Publish. All right. Yes. All right. Next, I'm going to update the Red Hat Summit team and let them know that I pushed some updates. a fix for the code generation bug and better documentation. I'm going to send in the links. Oh, I need to make a PR. GHPR create -f. Merge. Okay, next. Sorry about that. All right. Next, I want to talk about AI telemetry. So let me share my screen again. AI telemetry over here. All right. So with the AI telemetry, we're going to create some new, excuse me, some new models for bare metal. Let me see. I still have Slack messages. I'll exit, quit Slack. All right. So then, okay. First, we need to make an API for bare metal network reader. Let's see. Yeah, I'm creating this new API for bare metal networks, and it's going to be order number 10, has a description of an OpenStack bare metal network, a name of a bare metal network for some language context, and an icon. Let's pick out an icon for fun. I use Fontasm, and I'm a Fontasm Pro subscriber. So let me see what they have for bare metal networks. Network. See. Okay. Fun choices here. How about this one? Network wired. Um, want to stick with the right theme. So it's going to be, oh, let's see. It depends on what our vars say. Vars.yaml. We want to keep it consistent and look for font awesome. Whoops. Font awesome style, which is duotone and regular. So what I got to do is select duotone and regular. That's what it'll look like. There's some options like solid, regular, light, and thin. I'll go with this one. And then I can copy that. Let's see. Oh, I gotta go back to my workbench. Put this in here. Oops. Oh, I got caps lock on. All right. So we got a font awesome icon. We have a search page URI of /en-us/search/bear-metal-network, an edit page URI, an API URI. We're allowing users to search the API, get individual API items, patch the API, post the API, delete a bare metal network, import a bare metal network. I'm just going to delete this one. We don't need this one. Wait, no, we do because we're actually importing bare metal networks, so we don't want to miss out on that one. If you have an import API, you have to have a post and a patch API as well. And then delete, we'll see about that. Okay, so then I don't know if these bare metal networks should be publicly readable, so I'm going to delete that for now. A bare metal network reader should be able to oh wait, no, I'm putting this the wrong place. We're creating some auth groups and oops. We have an admin auth group that can get post get. Oh, it already has get post patch delete, and super admin can get post patch get post patch delete, and super admin stuff as well as admin stuff. We'll add that. And then a bare metal network reader should be able to get, a bare metal network admin should be able to get, post, patch, and delete. So these are our auth groups for these, and these will be automatically generated when we regenerate the API. I think, okay, in this template, we changed the name of the edit page to manage. I actually want to do that globally. So I'm going to delete this section in cluster template, go to the base model class and search for edit page. And instead of saying display name edit, we do display name manage. Manage this. Hey, what else do we need? It depends on we got to add at least one field, I would say. We'll add a field for description. I still need to look into what is a bare metal network. So I'll just put a description for now and save this. And then it should say bare metal touched. It does. It generates some errors, but eventually it should resolve. I'm watching my code for changes with the Computate project. And if I add a space and delete a space and save the file again, then I'm hoping that it doesn't give me any errors. Oh, let me think here. What's the problem? Oh, I know what the problem is. We forgot to extend. We forgot to extend a new class and this base model class. So here's the magic behind the computate code generation. If you have a class called bare metal network, it's just a Java class. There's nothing fancy. It's whatever you define. But if you extend it to extend bare metal network gen, which is a class that doesn't even exist, and then you put in some generics for the class you actually want it to extend, which is base model. Let me show you that this does not exist. Whoops. Let's see. We'll click. I search for base bare metal network gen .java, no matching results. And then I go and save this file and I wait. It says bare metal network touched. And if I if I do a search again, now bare metal network gen exists, as well as bare metal network gen page, bare metal network gen edit page, bare metal gen page gen, bare metal network gen search page, bare metal network page gen, bare metal ENUS gen API service, bare metal network ENUS gen API service simple. If we take off the gen, it created even more. It created JavaScript, it created CSS, it created Java pages, HTML pages, so much stuff. Search page JavaScript, search form, search page, search buttons, suggested search, pagination buttons, and the whole API. This would take hours. No, this would take days and days to write all this code. It's tons of code, like so much code. Like 3,000 lines of complicated API code. It just wrote it for us. So nice. Um, but it looks like, are there errors here? Let us, uh, let's refresh and see if it's happy. Let me go to cd / AI Telemetry and do a Maven clean install. Okay, it's saying there's some problems. So if there's problems with your model, I recommend touching your file one more time. And if we do that, see if it works. Actually, probably what we need to do, it's missing some important fields. I just realized. So you have to specify some specific variables. The name variable, the ID variable, and we also have a description variable, although I think we're not specifying it here. So we need to, what we should do is add some more fields. that will help the code generation because these things are important. You need to have an identifier for your object, and that could just be the primary key field, or it could be an ID by name. No. I copied the wrong thing. So this is, let's do the ID field, which is this underscore ID method, var ID true, and then we'll call this title for now and save this. And let's see if this fixes our code here because it's got this string and then it doesn't have a variable name. So it's kind of messed up right here. But now it has an ID field to work with. So it filled in the ID field and everything compiles. Nice. I should add some more error handling around this because it built some crappy code and didn't tell you what the problem was. But that's the problem. There's always more documentation to write. And I'm trying to update my website with all that good info. But we have a new API. The problem is it's not integrated into our main vertical. If I look for bare metal, it doesn't exist. So what we do is we use the Computate Smart Website Builder, which should do this automatically for us. Smart Website Builder, regenerate base files. Let's see, this is taking a long time to load. When this happens, it usually means I need to refresh my browser. See how this is logged out, OpenShift AI? If I refresh the browser, it says, oh, you got to log in. And that's what always happens after a day. It's kind of annoying, but OpenShift AI is so powerful. I just love it. So you got to work around this every day where you close your workbench and then you go back into your data science project and you open up your workbench again and authenticate. And now I'm back into my VS Code workbench and regenerate base files is open. Yay. So I'm going to regenerate the main vertical, regenerate the worker vertical, regenerate the home page. No, the page layout, sorry. And this should fix the main vertical. Now if I search for bare metal, it's got my imports automatically. It's got the API constructed and it sets it up for Vertex and the configuration in the web client, and then it initializes it here. Actually, what it does is creates the authorizations we talked about. So it creates a bare metal network reader authorization, a bare metal network admin, an admin, and a super admin authorization for the different scopes that we provided for each of them. So that's all built into the main vertical. And we also set up authentication resources. So this is now an auth resource in the search bar at the top. We only have a couple public resources, site pages and cluster templates. And then we initialize the API here and register it as an API service. And the last step that we got to do is run and debug the rebuild Smart Aquaculture API code, which will rebuild the OpenAPI spec. It'll rebuild the database schema, and it'll create the database tables. So I'll show you what I mean. After it finishes compiling the Java code, did I Maven clean install this? Let's see. Okay, so let me check the Open API 3 ENUS spec. I should find bare metal. Oh, nope, I don't. So so let me think. I I want to first do a Maven clean install because this is currently broken here. Open API 3 in us.yaml. This is, oh, I rebuilt the Smart Aquaculture API. Whoops. I got to rebuild the AI Telemetry API. That was our problem. Although, we still have an issue here with the code. So let's look at this issue. Let me regenerate this code one more time since now we have a title. We have a var name and a var ID. Could also add var description here. Oh, you know what? I I have some code I need to fix in the Computate project because I didn't finish fixing this. Source request. Okay, so I need to change that to be this code instead. Cookie. Okay, save that and then regenerate the bare metal network code. And hopefully this will work after that. I want to regenerate line 3411. Oh, that's cluster request. So we got to regenerate cluster request dot Java because this has an error. What else had an error? Cluster request, cluster template. Um, I still see. Still see the same problem. Let's see, cluster request.java, save. Well, oh, it did change. Okay. Um, let's update cluster template.java. That's all. And then come back to compile it. Yes, it compiles. Good. Uh, now I'm going into the computate project and I'm going to commit this change, fixing a bug with cookie code generation. Whoops. Git add -i u for update 1 for this file. Enter q. Enter. Git commit. Git push. Okay, we got that code fixed. Oof. I introduced a bug yesterday and forgot to fix it. All right, then our code compiles. We come back to run and debug, rebuild AI Telemetry API. And we're going to fix this. After doing Maven clean install, you have to update the project configuration most times. And after that, you should be able to run it because we know it compiles. Now we run. Give it a minute to reload the libraries. Okay. So if we're lucky, yes, it's creating authorizations for bare metal network reader. And we should be able to run this site, AI Telemetry. And come over here. Now we have a new bare metal networks resource. Oh, Resource not found. Let me think. Maybe we just ran this a little too fast. If we check the Open API 3 spec, we now have a bare metal network API, search page, and if we check the main vertical, you have the bare metal stuff. Let me just stop and start this again. Because if VS Code didn't see it, then it might not know about the resource. Hmm. Now, why is that? Um, I think we have to do another Maven clean install to get it into the resources. Let's just look at how that OpenAPI spec is discovered. OpenAPI 3, right there. So router builder.create. Hmm. So it lets you specify the location of your spec. It can be an absolute path or a local path or a remote URL. We're currently using a local path, which may not be the best way because of this bug where we had to recompile it to get the right OpenAPI spec in there. But let's just see if this worked. Oh, it still doesn't find it. That's weird. WD. Oh, let me recompile AI telemetry instead. This one takes longer. Now we run and refresh, and I think it's working. Yes, now it has the API. So you do have to Maven clean install after you generate the OpenAPI spec. And I can create a bare metal one, metal, uh, metal one, create, and, huh, there's a glitch. It didn't actually show the result. Well, okay. Uh, that's interesting. What if I do metal one, two? Nope. Excuse me. If I regenerate the code for bare metal network, what happens? Does it fix my template problem? Wait, where did it go? Oh, here. Nope. If I go to cluster requests, this page is working. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. Aha. So, bare metal networks, we did not specify. Let's look at cluster requests. There's this thing you got to specify first, which is the HTML row title open. Oh, we have it there, but bare metal network details to expect that to work. For some reason, it's not. Oops. So let me check out the API. It has all of the fields and data for ID and title. But we got a UI bug here. What is going on with that? Oh, let me think. That needs to be correct. Title, ID. No, this should really be ID, not title. I bet that's the problem. Bare metal network ID. Bare metal network. Um, with that, I'm going to regenerate the API spec. And stop the application and start it again. Refresh and it's still broken. Okay. and it's not giving me any logs, so I'm gonna have to see what's going on here. Bare metal network edit gen edit page. Step 1. Step 2. Wait. Result count is 0. Else step 3. Step 1 and step 3. There's a lot of code here, but it seems to be hiding. Okay, well, I'm out of time. Um, just compare bare metal network to cluster template.java. See what we did wrong. Compare selected. Don't think we did anything wrong. Form. Search form. Step 5. Step 6. Hmm. Okay, well, I'm going to continue to debug this, but that's all the time I have. Thanks for watching.